what's happening here is he's getting ready to take off for a demo. It will fly, but it's also carrying a great group of people. On board are 3 members of the round canopy parachute team. They're going to be jumping out of the airplane at about 1,500 feet. It's going to take a little bit for this big, ungainly biplane to take off and climb to a little bit of altitude so that they can do their jump. Got a 1,000 horse radial engine on the front with a 4-blade propeller. It's a tail driver, which means the tail wheels on the back end. And it's got 2 main gear out the front. And they can take off pretty short distance. I'm going to be quiet, but we're looking for a take off.
Then you get to
Wind keeps blowing my babies right. Demonstration jumps at air shows across the U.S. annually. Typically conducts 2 training events a year, spring and fall, in Florida. Come and join us for the fun and camaraderie. It's more than just a jump. Please stop by our stand and meet the parachute.
So you start doing air shows in time.
When you have a jump team on an airplane such as an Antonov, you really kind of have to know what you're doing. John Wallace will be the load master and jump master on the Antonov. It's piloted by Lee Barker. It has been more than 40 years since John has flown in and jumped from an Antonov biplane, which he affectionately refers to as a truck with wings. It truly is. I like to say that a truck with wings is just as good. John resides from Fort Erie, Ontario. He made his first jump at the age of 7 from the top of his family's dairy bar with a tractor umbrella. His first jump from an airplane was while in forestry major at Penn State in 1976, and he has accumulated over 7,000 jumps. John is the event coordinator for the Round Chute Parachute Team USA and also serves on the board of directors of the Northeast Council of Air Shows. He is a Canadian and orange X's that are out there. So they should land, about 100 feet from the crowd line, maybe 125 feet from the crowd line. They'll be dropping in, and you'll see how maneuverable these canopies are. They can actually do spirals on the way down. Sometimes they can ride on someone else's canopy if that's the plan, but they're going to drop a streamer on this run to see where the wind's blowing, and obviously the wind is on to us. So that's why he's out that far.
Hi, camera guys!
So we'll see what happens when we drop that.
That's what I love to do.
Okay. Get ready. Keep your eye on the left side of the aircraft. The door is wide open. And right now they're standing in the door waiting to go. You can see how far north he's going because of the wind drift. We need to land right on these orange spots, right out in front of show center. So this gives them a little more time, a little more altitude, because the winds are a little bit variable. There's a couple of times here where I felt no wind center. And as you can see, we did the practice demo for an emergency. So safety is always on our minds. Brady, get ready. You should be seeing him jumping out the door in a second. There's 1, 2. You got 2 chutes out. You see the Canadian flag. And the second one has the American flag. Now they've unfurled the American flag, and you'll see how close they get to these orange dots on the grass out in front. They're amazingly maneuvered. If you can see, they actually look like they're going north. But what that does is, in this kind of wind, it's slowing them down. So they're basically almost standing still, but slowly descending. And if you pull on the right side, it'll turn to the right, and the left side will turn to the left. If you pull it really tight one way, it'll start spiraling that way. They call them ram yard canopies or square chutes because there's a hole, several tubes of fabric at the front, and the hole in the front is smaller than the hole at the back. So as the air goes in, it forms an airfoil shape and allows you to have much more maneuverability and control of the parachute. These are generally the type of parachutes you would learn to jump with, whether it's a static line or it's a tandem jump with someone else in your strap to the front. Only special people ride the round chutes as they come down a little bit faster, but they're a little more historic. So for the purists and some people, they're really extenuating circumstances to be able to jump with one of those. And you see the blue smoke, that's a little smoke canister on the heel of the American flag. jumper. It's a beautiful sky. This is great for photography. If you got your cameras out, this is going to be great. They should be landing right in front of us. So it looks like they're right on the mark for that. And you might get a look if your eyes are good. Just behind the main canopy in the center, you'll see this little, looks like a dot floating around behind him. That's actually the pilot chute that comes out to pull the main chute out. It's a little tiny parachute, maybe 2 feet across. And it just pulls the main parachute out, so the rest of the jump is just kind of hanging there.
I made it a good 10 minutes behind my late arrival.
But you can see how they can turn these and maneuver them the way they want.
Yeah.
What a beautiful sky. Square sheet jumpers also prefer to land into the wind like an airplane does, so you always want to try to land into as much into the wind as you can because it slows down your descent. And if they're able to do it, they can almost land and just stop standing up and let the parachute collapse. They don't have to do a running jump. So it's we'll see how precise they are today with this little bit stronger wind. You can see how maneuverable that was. The American jumper with American flag can make really, really tight turns. The flag is weighted from the front end on the lower front end to keep it unfurled. And it's literally right over the show line here. And you're going to see him do a turn to the left and try to hit that orange dot out there. Here's a good shot. And almost. Let's give him a round of applause. Woohoo! Great shot.
Canadian jokes are going,
The wind is a bit squirrely up and down here, so it's sometimes it's a little difficult to really nail your point. Parachute jumping is a pretty exciting sport. I think that also not only the excitement of the rush and jumping out of an airplane, but also sometimes it's almost like an aerial ballet, how they come in very slow and are able to land a touchdown. So it's quite a sport that has its range of excitement and calmness as we're getting ready to bring down the Canadian jumper.
You'll be fine. I think you can turn fine.
Aiming for the orange spot on the west side of the show center. And a perfect stand-up landing. Everybody give him applause. Terrific job. Ladies and gentlemen, the round canopy parachuting team. Give them a round of applause. They can hear you. And they're going to be back later when they're going to jump with the round canopies out of the C-47 Whiskey 7. That'll be more simulating a World War II airborne jump.
We have the political thing. The whole Bud Light thing, we are behind it 100% because I'm sick and tired. I just graduated the class in school the other day. And Fred was off the rest of it.
Okay, the Antonov's coming down. You can see how slow he's going for such a big airplane. And I don't know if he's going to actually try to do the shortest landing he can. But watch how quickly this airplane touches down and then stops. It's probably about 200 feet now, about 300. And he's got his tail wheel down. He basically landed in about 350 feet. And that's actually a long landing for one of those. He's going to go to the center taxiway and then taxi back down in front of you, back to the pitch. So as he goes by, you can wave to him. That was a long time. I bet you he was a little chilly up there at 5,000 feet too. It's a little colder. And as I mentioned before, this is a 5,000-foot draft runway. Probably the largest or longest draft runway in the United States where they do air shows. And there's just some pretty big aircraft out there. I think the biggest I've ever seen land here was the C-130 and a Lockheed Constellation years ago, which was an airline. So it's a pretty amazing place, and they don't do this anywhere else in the country. This is the place you want to be on this beautiful June day. Get that Antonov, hey, woohoo! As it taxis by, you can see how boxy the fuselage is. That's why a lot of people call it a truck. The flying truck. The ailerons are full length on both upper and lower wings. They can droop as they drop in the flaps, and the flaps go out the front, and the nozzle will fly very, very close. You see the smoke at the end of the field. This is the Canadian Harvard Association, Aircraft Association aircraft. They're down from Canada. Harvard was a Canadian name for the North American AC-6 Texan. Some of them were built specifically in Canada by the Canadian car foundries. They built them up to, I think, the early 50s, 1952. They built the Harvard.